So exciting, right? We are alive. We are always alive. We always exist. Let's put it this way. And so we exist every day, forever, eternally. We have always existed since we were created. And so here it feels like we are alive, but we are always alive. And so beautiful magic is unfolding here. Of course, we are in the beautiful celebration of the goddess, the festival of Navaratri. So you see how we have these cosmic syllables, right? Like we had Maravati. It's amazing, right? It's just the cosmic language. I love the cosmic language. So these very simple syllables that represent all these beautiful cosmic energies. And so in the email that I sent this morning, I sent a link to Ananda's store on Fine Art America so that everybody can get Divine Mother. She painted so many beautiful versions of Divine Mother, of course, the Deva, the Devi. And this is the one that she told me the story where actually Lakshmi stood in front of her every time she painted. So I love this one. I have it here on my altar. And it's wonderful to be able, like when you do your morning practice, to be surrounded by all the divine energies, even though we say, it's externalized and we want to internalize it, but it's always helpful. So if you click on the picture in the email, then it will take you to her store. And so let us align in this beautiful, beautiful portal. So yesterday we were celebrating, the energy of the incredible eclipse, which will keep on playing out in this world as they always do, of course. And so we are moving forward. So I'd like to say also thank you for, when we have like requests for healing, like yesterday, we have Elaine's grandson, Nicholas. So what I did after our call, I've been sending chi balls to everyone who needs healing. And yesterday I had 2 requests. So I sent, 3 chi balls one way, 3 chi balls the other way, and I will show you how I did it. And for example, one of the requests, which was within my actual family for healing for someone who was also feeling very sick, instantaneously, the person got better. And so I love that this works. It works amazingly, of course, on children and animals specifically. So whatever it is, doesn't have to be healing. It can be anything that you really want to bless, anything you want to add your light to. And I'll just start building chi balls and sending them. So I'll show you how I do it so that everybody can do it. And I'll tell you a little story, for example, not only healing, of course. So, I was sending chi balls to Nicholas, Elaine's grandson, and also sending chi balls to my family member who immediately miraculously healed instantaneously. And so we'll be having so much fun. This is the fun of Divine Mother. And in a way, this looks like a chi ball here, right? And so I know that we are meant to have fun with energy, right? Chi balls. So I build them and then I actually throw them. I do it always in nature where we have unlimited amount of energy, of course. And so my daughter knows that whenever she needs a chi ball, I'll send her a chi ball. And so I'll tell a little story of how this also works. So my daughter, she likes to rescue animals that she finds. And so she found a little kitten that looked very sick and very neglected. And I don't think it belonged to anyone, but she couldn't keep it. So she took care of it and then she took it to a shelter. And every day she was checking the website if anyone has adopted little baby Frank, we named him. And no one, there's so many stray cats, so no one was adopting baby Frank. And so one day she called me, that was I think last week, and she said, Mom, can you send a chi ball to Frank for his adoption? And so, I was at Mount Shasta, so I got outside and I did the chi ball manufacturing. And then I look like, which way is Texas? So I face the direction of where the person is, and so, or the cat. And so I sent 3 chi balls for happy adoption for Frank. He was adopted the same day. I mean, that's just how it is. We do our magic, and then we just know Divine Mother, it will always empower goodness and also the ability to be, free to play freely, right? With detachment. And so this really works amazingly. Now, I am, as you know, so much enjoying Qigong right now because of Divine Mother. And I never knew this was going to be such a big part of my life right now. But it really is magic. I promote Lee Holden, but of course we have so many wonderful teachers in the world, so that's just the way that I do it. And I signed up for the weekly classes with Lee Holden, and again, I'll put it in the link tomorrow when I send an email so that you know what I'm talking about. So Lee, he does, you know, live classes. I don't participate in the live classes, but I like the recordings of them so that it's edited already and it's not people really asking questions for half an hour, but it's just straight to the practice. And so we'll definitely play. And so how this all came about. So as you know, we have to go back to what energy really is. As you know, energy truly is everything. And in a way, you can think of energy, we can call her, like we had the song at the beginning, as Shakti. I often, you know, like, you know, in my life, let's say, you know, people refer often to energy as Shakti, and they look at you and they say, oh, you've got so much Shakti. And, you know, what it really means, you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of life force, you have a lot of magnetism. And we spoke about divine magnetism as something that is your influence energetically in the world. So all of this is really important, how we are actually here, right? Remembering, we are remembering. And so for me to understand all of this, I always go to the memories from Mu, the land, the civilization of the mother Mu, where energy was everything. We had absolute knowledge of energy. And so now we have the beautiful, you know, teachings of yoga and all the traditions we have, but really we can think of everything as really knowledge and mastery of energy. Our being is a being of pure energy that seems like matter. And so we have to think about our own system as a being of energy. Now, who knows how energy works is a master of life. And I mean life with a capital L. And we are becoming masters of life, just like we used to be. And so again in Moon, our typical day, because a day is, you know, a solar day, right? The sun rises, the sun sets, and it doesn't always have to be the way that we have it here on this planet, and it doesn't always have to be the way that it is now. But within cosmos, you would say that conditions are set by cosmic nature. And so you can have different worlds, different planets, different star systems with different conditions, different suns, different days, different flow of time, also conditions with no time. But in this world, we do have a solar day. So every solar day is an opportunity to exist within a field of energy and to play well. It doesn't have to be perfect, because creation is not about perfection. Creation is about constant beautification, constant building upon, constant transformation, constant evolution. And so a lot of people now speak about a spiral, which it is. It's ever spiraling. What is ever widening, maybe, spiral that widens through cosmos. And we call her, like I call her, the rainbow serpent of creation, because you see the magnetic energy, this beautiful life force as energy, as a visible spectrum, right? It moves through cosmos and it's always spiraling out. So we have spiraling out of a galaxy, spiraling out of a universe, spiraling out of cosmos. And so you and me in this world, we are designed the same way. When you wake up in the morning, because your beautiful biochemistry told you to, you align yourself with the natural rhythms. We are now part of aligning with natural rhythms. The dysfunction that happened on planet Earth had a lot to do with misalignment, had a lot to do with disconnect from our true divine nature. And so when we disconnected as a civilization from the flow of nature, we also disconnected from true divine intelligence. So you would say we have people who are very intellectual. I love it, all the PhD titles, but they are disconnected from natural intelligence. And what is so much preferred in the world of the mother is to have natural intelligence, which is not derived from reading. It is not derived from gaining knowledge from books. It is actually about internal attunement of all your energetics to cosmic mother nature in all her expressions, which is, for example, planetary intelligence, the intelligence of the elements, the intelligence of starlight, the intelligence of solar light, the intelligence of galactic light, the intelligence of universal light, and the intelligence of cosmic knowledge, which exists embedded in all of cosmic nature. Cosmos is the book of life. And it is in this body that we now can do what we used to do in Mu, to have complete, ever-increasing mastery of cosmic consciousness, which runs through the shape that we are in. Let's call it our beautiful body, which right now, we are all familiar with what it looks like, but it doesn't have to be this way, right? It can be much more upgraded, and it's not about beauty in any way. It always is about freedom of flow. So again, we are in a, let's call it a very interesting situation, you and me, in this world. We so well got to know the old world, but we are now exploring the new world, and they are so different from each other. So also, we obviously have been conditioned by many different teachings, many different traditions, many different societal norms, and so on and so on. But now is the time of the new, which is so new. It's like going from the flat earth to the earth being a sphere, or the earth being the center of all things, to actually not being the center of all things. Complete deprogramming, right? That's it. Thank you. And so how can we be free in every solar day to actually get to know the new, not from others so much, but actually from Cosmos herself? And so our physical body, once again, was very manipulated by many different forces, internally and externally both, over the last many thousands of years. Let's like imagine how exciting it is to be here now, when we go through the liberation of the physical, which also means the liberation of the mental, emotional, and etheric, to be the new you. So the new you is pretty much also the ancient design of the fifth dimensional beings that we used to be in the civilization of Mu. What is the ideal design of a Mu person? Mu person. We need t-shirts. I'm a Mu person. So the typical Mu day, the typical Mu person doesn't have to earn money, doesn't have to care for some housing, doesn't have to hoard anything, doesn't have to collect items, doesn't have to do anything at all that today we would associate with the way of being in this world. The Mu person doesn't have a job, but the Mu person is also not lazy. The Mu person is a creator being in becoming, and becoming. There is a reason why cows are holy in India, and I'm sure pretty certain that they also forgot why they consider cow to be holy. That's again, part of the things. We keep repeating a lot of things for thousands of years, and then we forget why, right? But somebody will come up with an explanation. But actually, Divine Mother explained this to me originally, that the sound of mu, it is the sound that is fundamental to the nature of reality, which is the sound of the creator of all that is. When the creator of all that is beyond all things, it actually makes a sound, just like Divine Mother's sound in creation is Om. Then mu, let me see if I have any visuals here actually for mu. Oh yeah, mu is the sound of the center. Mu is the sound, it actually sounds in cosmos. And that's why esoteric Buddhism, they chant mu. It's the most kept secret, and of course we reveal secrets here now because it's not the time for secrets. But if in esoteric Buddhism, if they wanted to have superpowers like teleportation, levitation, and all the great things of manifestation, they would sit and chant mu for hours until they gain all their cities, all the superpowers. And so it's the sound. Cows, when you actually see cows etherically, for example, cows are great teachers of humanity that don't come from this dimension even. So cows had to descend to be here with humanity. And so that's why I recommend not killing the teachers, because they actually, just the sound alone is an activation for consciousness. And one of you told me that in Japanese, mu means nothing and nothingness, which is exactly what it means in cosmos. A lot of these languages, like Japanese, for example, right? And a lot of languages, the original languages of this world, came from cosmos. They came as cosmic languages. And so mu is the sound of nothingness that also contains a portal to everythingness. So, I mean, it gets big. Thank you for the cow here. Very beautiful. And so again, you know, this is a big transformation of human consciousness, right? From deep unconsciousness and from illusion into actually cosmic consciousness. And so as the people of mu, be activated by the sound of cow. You know, the greatest activation is not some light language. To me, that's so nice what humanity is coming up with. But the greatest activation actually is listening to the sound of nature. If anyone speaks light language, it is nature. And so exposing yourself to the sound of nature is absolutely transformational, right? Like people listen to the recordings of the dolphins, but we can also listen to a recording of a cow and be equally activated and stimulated in our consciousness. So again, Taoism is going to be, and you see it, you will see, I definitely know it, that there will be a huge interest in Qigong around the world now. And not only in Asia, but of course in Western world, just like we had a big wave of yoga. Now it's going to be all about Taoism and the true understanding of what Tao really is, which is the mother. So Tao, if you really, when you see it, Tao is that rainbow serpent of creation. Tao is Shakti. Tao is the rainbow light that moves through all things. And so that's why we will be studying Tao. Again, yes, that's right. Lee Holden was on TV, right, in San Diego, just because now really it's an expansion. You know, Divine Mother, she moves through all things. If she wants everybody to learn Qigong, she will make sure everybody learns Qigong. And so back to the land of Mu. The land of Mu was the land of pure Tao, where everyone could see with that true eye, the third eye that we consider to be the eye of Christ consciousness. But again, that usually people think of Jesus, so we want to go beyond, right? We were able to always see Shakti. We were able to see how she flows. And so our typical day, you rise with nature, you rise with natural light. You anyway are a being of nature, not in any primitive way. When people think about ancient civilizations, they often think about the caveman, but the caveman was already after the fall of human civilization. The caveman came after, not before. We did not evolve from caveman. And so we used to live fully sustained by cosmic nature. Now, when I, for example, travel into cosmos, you don't find anyone needing a thing that they cannot get, and so they live in lack, and then they have to make money in cosmic, realms, so that they can go and hang out with Shiva, pay him some money, right? No, that would be so, you can't even like imagine it, because it doesn't exist. And so our sustenance was very available to all of us equally, just because we didn't have this kind of very dense physicality. So now if you said to someone, we lived in oneness with cosmic nature, you would think, well, that must have been uncomfortable. Sure, you didn't have comfortable beds, you didn't have roof over your head. But in cosmic terms, when you see how things really work, no one needs a bed, as much as we really don't need anything at all, except for being fully plugged in and fully in the know-how, which happens when we are fully awake, fully enlightened, fully plugged in back into the divine reality. And so cosmos is expressed in creation, right? Or, sorry, our creator is expressed in cosmos. And so we do have suns, we have galaxies, we have universes. That is the manifest creation. And so within this creation, when the sun rises, the bodies that we had would respond to this amazing miracle of sunrise, of light. Every sun in creation is a replica of source. It is an incredible intelligence capable of such emanation of light, of warmth, of intelligence, of geometries, of codes, of knowledge, of upgrades. Once again, humanity disconnected from honoring, I don't want to say worshiping because it's a weird word, honoring the sun every day. Some of you I know do that. You do your sun gazing every morning, you do your sun gazing at sunset, the two times that are very powerful for us. And so as we rose every day, we were in our magical thinking. And we talked about magical thinking yesterday, and we will keep on working with magical thinking. So I recommend getting a very nice journal. That will be your journal for creation, reverence, that's right, honoring. And so we want to start the day in a very powerful way. I would say usually it takes maybe, to me, for example, I like to have many hours in the morning of truly setting the tone to my consciousness, so that the rest of the day is just a flow. The Tao is all about flow. And it's not about, time, it's about energy, which means for some people, it will be a 5-minute of creating an amazing energetic shift to be in the flow of the Tao, to be in the magical mind. For some people, it will take 3 hours, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. What really matters is how effective it is. Same with chanting, same with meditation. The kind of like how to measure effectiveness is looking at your own energetics and seeing your own shift into more bliss. Again, back to our dear Yogananda, that is, if I'm meditating and nothing has changed, probably it was not all that effective. But we want change not because it was bad, but change because we evolve and expand. And so more bliss, more bliss, more bliss. What is the significance of the mushrooms? I do believe the author of Alice in Wonderland was very experienced with some kind of psychedelics, right? Or mushrooms or whatever. I heard the story. And so I don't know, but it's just magical. Let's put it this way. Magic mushrooms. And so, yeah, we're going to do chi bowls too. So every morning, take your time, whatever that is, the timelessness, to shift yourself into the highest gear you can be in every day, and always more. You wake up in the morning, you scan your energy. How blissful are you feeling? Doesn't matter how blissful or not. The past never matters, and neither does the present. It's all about where you're going. And that is very different from the teachings of living in the now. When I first met Yogananda, he always says, doesn't matter where you came from, doesn't matter the past. The only thing that matters, where are you going from here on? And so we want to set our goal to always be in a expanded and even more expanded version of our being. So the mastery of energy from Mu was like that. You wake up in the morning and you already are a blissful being of God, but every day is an opportunity to get to know thyself through your experience with energy. Without energy, we are depleted. And this is not about energy like, I'm not tired, you know, this is very different. This is about, I am fully charged. And as I am fully charged with blissful divine energies, knowing exactly where they're coming from, knowing exactly how they flow through you, then what are you giving birth to? When a being is fully attuned to that rainbow light of creation, which is being one with God, if anyone wants to see what one with God looks like, it looks like this. I always like to play the animation. This is oneness with God. In this state of magnetic emanation, which is our divine magnetism, this was us in Mu. We used to look like this. This is what we looked like. So you can imagine when you are one with God like this, you know exactly what and who sustains you, and you feel the most blissful, ecstatic flow of energy. In this world that we still live in, human beings, right, they became very asleep, which means this rainbow light fell asleep within them at the base of the spine. And the only thing that could slightly wake it up was the genitals getting a little excited about something, someone, right? So this is why it's so funny. What we today know as sexual arousal used to be all body excitement for life. So we all were beings excited, aroused by life. And then this gave birth to our heart's desire. Our heart's desire then became our passion. How do we create it? How do we express it? How do we show the mirror what we gave birth to? And again, it didn't have to be perfect because creation is all about experimenting. And so we would experiment. Let's say, you know, very often in the land of Mu, our landscapes that you would consider to be like what we build in the home base when we work with the tetrahedrons, similar thing. We created our home base. Our home base very often was tropical paradise. We loved tropical paradise. And so you see all the images of Mu, people who remember, always tropical paradise, because the earth didn't have adverse weather conditions, as we still had North Pole and South Pole magnetically aligned to be a straight axis. When our North Pole, and I'm speaking about magnetic north and magnetic south, are aligned to be a perfect axis, then the energy can flow. This is the key to our purpose here, which we will speak about too. So, in the land of Mu, energy, mastery of energy, was the most important aspect of our existence we every day paid attention to. I remember the bliss we actually experience. And I said, this would be nothing for today's civilization, just to joke about it a little bit, because you are constantly, and I'm going to use the word aroused because we all understand it, aroused by the flow of this, which people then started to call Kundalini. This is the full-blown divine emanation of Goddess and God through us in every moment, our true divine heritage to be the child of God, which means this is the image of God. Cosmos, universe, galaxies, planets, suns, they all have the same shape, which always is true north, true south. And the reason for that is that creation is magnetic. And so we spoke about divine magnetism, how to increase your own divine magnetism. Let's take a look at that. We are in a mastery course here, which will be, we will meet almost every day with an exception of a few days until the full moon on the 28th. And so every single day we will add a layer that Divine Mother will give to us, a layer of mastery. So our energy is what determines the reflection in the mirror. The mirror, why is it a mirror? Creation is a mirror. Creation is a very accurate mirror of everyone's energy, of everyone's vibration, right? Which means our personal field never lies. It is exactly what we usually unconsciously created it to be. And so now is the time to be conscious, meaning fully intentional, pure intent every day. So again, perfection is not important, but mastery and ever-increasing mastery is. And so we want to think of our life as an amazing experiment where we play with energy like we used to. And we play every day. We never get tired of creation. Every day is a great gift that Mother Nature brings us. Can everybody hear, or did we lose sound? We have sound? We have sound? Sound is good? Okay, good. Okay, wonderful. And so this is huge. Today is the day to let go of all past, unless it was love, and love is the greatest legacy of all that ever happened. Filter everything else out and simply let it go, because now is the invitation to be new. I say past never happened anyway. It's all just a beautiful, let's call it a game, chapters in some movie, but let's take some pages out if they don't serve us. We are not defined anymore. We used to be kind of quite holding on to the past, right? But now the only thing that matters is the legacy of love that we gave or that we received. So everything else, letting go. Childhood, maybe it never even happened. It's all good. But what is happening here now is this that creates the future. Again, we are in a time, we are in a space-time reality, time-space reality. So, we are a little bit limited here by certain things, but that's okay. So it seems like we have a linear time, so that's okay. We can accept it that that's a condition of this game. Obviously different worlds have different conditions, but that's it. You just look at everything and you take all the love that ever existed in your life, small and big, and whether it was parents, grandparents, siblings, friends, neighbors, community, even beings you never met, like Yogananda, all of this, let's take all that love and have that as the gift today that will serve our energetics. So in Mu, we would wake up with the sun, of course, right? Because it's cosmic light that would wake us up, and it's not as physical as it is here now. So it looks very different. The world looked very different too. But we did used to have these home bases. Basically, the entire planet Earth used to be a home base for those who would come here and who wanted to experience life on this beautiful consciousness that we can call Maravati. And so she supported all her beings beautifully and generously to have the most delightful experience when she was in her pristine consciousness and pristine expression of her elements. And so none of us ever felt lazy, but we also didn't have to work. So our passion was the passion for experience and creation. So we would enjoy what is, but we would always beautify what is to add, as Patricia said, our light to it. And so we would create, but also take time to simply enjoy, because both is important. Everything is a rhythm. And so we would follow the rhythms. We would attune to the rhythm of cosmic nature. We would never create when energy was not there. We would only create when energy has built up. And then when the energy was ready, we would move with her and be moved by her. And so again, that's what we are doing here. I recommend completely letting go of all, especially, let's say, if you didn't have good experiences in life, it's okay. Let them all go. It's possible, because now is the time to do it. So that's the shifting of energy. Now, can the shifting of energy happen only in the mind? No, because we also have a body, and in the body we have many wonderful systems. And again, we will be speaking quite a bit about our biochemistry and about our endocrine and nervous system. And so all the systems have to let go. So it's a big shift. And again, we'll work with those shifts, how to create the shift. So Divine Mother calls this shape shifting. In May this year, many of us were meeting in the temples of Divine Mother in higher realms. And she every day gave us some new knowledge. She gave us a little bit of homework. She gave us a little bit of directions. And one of the days she spoke to us about the only way to heal is to shape shift. And so we will do a little bit of Qigong. And again, I will send in an email some recommendations for Qigong that I find very powerful. So what is Qigong? So Qi, meaning life force, really. You can say also Shakti, you can say Prana, you can say Divine Mother even. And then Gong means practice. So, simple. It also means to play with energy, right? In a way, we want to be playful. There's nothing serious about this, because everything has to come from joy and bliss, the bliss of creation, the bliss of playing with energy. The more joyful and light we feel, the more successful we can be. And so, for example, Qigong helps us to shift energy. When you move your hands, you are moving your magic wands. And when you move your magic wands, of course, you are moving energy. You are directing energy. Let's say you push energy in front of you. What are you doing? You're pushing energy in your field and liberating your field from maybe stagnant energy, maybe from blockages, lack of flow. When you expand your arms like your wings, what are you doing? You're moving energy. You always are energy, right? If all of us could see who we truly are energetically, I think we would be a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more intentional about what we want to look like energetically. And so Qigong is a truly magical way of move people, how we moved energy in Mu. So amazing stuff here. Through you, right, comes all sorts of energy. What we allow in our system will determine the reflection in the mirror. When we see imperfection, meaning, hey, things are a little bit out of balance in my reality, which is the world. The mother is the world. When you thank the mirror, you are thanking the mother. You are thanking the world. And one thing I recommend is always giving her thanks every day, no matter what, because we don't want to be conditional about this. Mother, thank you for loving me so much and always blessing me. And I don't speak about me, I'm just saying something like this, say, I love you so much, Mother. Thank you for all the blessings, right? We had a lot of religions who've acted that way too. And that's pretty much, the path of the mother, giving great thanks to her every day, because without her, there is no creation. Blessing her. So today we will definitely quickly review the practice. And so the practice is, number one, set your energy to be the most wonderful flow of your rainbow light connected to Divine Mother through your spine, through your heart, connected to Divine Father through your crown, through your brain, through your spine, through your heart. They meet in your heart. This we will master. I'm working with Divine Mother every day to get the most efficient and effective techniques, because this is not just about intention. It truly has to be energetic shift. Energetic shift must be felt by the heart to be more blissful, which means I'm simply more in the flow. Even in psychology, right? We have these days positive psychology, which is all about being in the flow. And they trying to define what the flow really is. But the flow is this. It's the most mystical state of being. The child of God is this. This is our oneness with these amazing beings that can be visible in cosmos as Mother, Father, God as one. So we set up our energy. And when we feel like we are smiling, we are flowing, flow is the key, right? And even sometimes the flow rests. That's also an important flow. Breathing, engaging in beautiful, deep breath, and sometimes energizing breath, like the breath of fire. And then taking a quick look in the mirror, which is the conditions in your life, and saying, what inspires me today? Then putting the curtain over the mirror, letting the scene to quiet down, closing your eyelids, and fully focusing within the sacred heart. Every day we will practice more. And the sacred heart, we have to get to know that beautiful energetic portal, will give birth to that which you, as your divine self, would love to experience in this world. How you, from the fullness of your heart, would love to bless this world. How do you want to bless the world? Not because you decide to from the mind, but you actually decide with your heart. Again, this is the new earth operating system, always deciding with the heart. Once you decide with the heart, when you feel the bubbling up of inspiration, then you take your journal. So if you have your journal now, if you have a piece of paper, let's do it together, because we want to make it so powerful. When we are working in this group, right? What is happening? There is a massive quantum field around the entire planet. We often have people from every continent in this world. And even if it's just one person on a continent, it doesn't matter. We are holding the net. We are holding the quantum web. We are holding it together, every single one of us, around the world. And so when we connect through this platform, for example, obviously at the same time in this kind of timelessness and all around the world, then we hold that web together. And so then we focus on the same thing, for example, the song at the beginning. And so then when we do something together that is in this physical reality, we are creating quantum magic for everyone on this planet. And so if you have a piece of paper, you journal. Let us go within the sacred heart, truly sinking into the depth of your loving heart that has always only known love. Taking a deep, slow breath in and beautiful release through the nose, slow and deep. pure intent is activating the sacred portal within you that knows all answers to your existence beyond time and space. It is a portal in which Divine Mother and Divine Father meet within you. And the more open you are, like the Holy Grail, the more they can flow through you, of course, creating that rainbow light all around you. And we want to rest in the infinite ocean of that sacred heart within you, exploring the vastness of your being, the bliss that always has been and always will be, the bliss that connects you with the frequency of God. And again, the breath simply allows us to relax all systems. And as we get in touch with this loving heart, we can ask, what would love do next? What would you love to see in the mirror of your life as a reflection of love? And allow the heart to speak to you in the silence of your being. Breathing deeply and just listening in a relaxed state to your heart. And then take a pen with your beautiful hand, knowing that your hand is an extension of your magic in this world, representing the 5 elements, the 5 fingers. And so the hand is the 5-pointed star. And write in your journal just maybe a few notes. And it's an expression of your heart. And I will play some music as we do that. So this I found is called The Rainbow Body by the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, which is just so beautiful and so appropriate. And so when we are in celestial realms, right, we always hear the music of the spheres. And very often it is classical music. Very often it's something that we would actually call opera as well. And so this in the Rainbow Heart, music enhances our energy or not. And as we all know, we want to be always enhancing our energy to inspire us, to move us. It's again about the rainbow light, right? We are moved by music. We are moved to create something. So I hope that everybody was able to journal something really beautiful. If you want to put it also in the chat, what it is, for example, that you would like to see in the mirror. So again, you know, once we get to know our cosmic parents and cosmos, I believe we only have one desire, and that is to bring everyone else to that contact with God, to that self-realization. Once we see God, like see God, once we see Divine Mother, you know, we want everyone else to see them too, to see the beauty that actually in this world was forgotten. It was forgotten. And we have wonderful traditions that still were based in belief and in faith, and that's fine. But we want to have the self-realization. And that's what, you know, for example, for me, that is the greatest desire that I have in my heart, that everyone gets to truly have personal contact through seeing, through experience with God, and then the world is in good hands. Because once we see the beauty of our cosmic parents, once we see the incredible harmony, orchestration, the goodness behind all of it, here we still have the veil, right? Because we still cannot really see.